I am a 33-year-old male and I have been dating my girlfriend, who we will call Fati, a 26-year-old woman, for 4 years. I was doing a project in the northern region when I met her. It was actually a mom who introduced us. She sold food close to my workplace, and whenever she saw me, she would joke around and tell me she would give her daughter to me if I was single. One day, I went to eat and met Fati, and oh my God, she was beautiful. I liked her immediately, but I kept my feelings to myself. However, her mom kept pushing me to date her. She gave me her daughter's number, and everything started from there. When I met her, she had finished senior high school and was at home due to financial limitations. She was learning fashion designing from a woman in town. She was vibrant and full of life, and I was instantly drawn to her energy. We talked for months before I finally proposed to her, and when we told her mom, she was so happy. I was almost done with my project and had to leave. I really liked Fati, and I could see myself having a long-term relationship with her. We stayed in touch, and whenever I could, I would visit her in town. I was falling in love with her, and when she told me she wanted to learn fashion designing from a woman in my city, I asked her to come and stay with me. Her mom was also aware of this. Our love grew once we moved in together. The plan was to get married as soon as she was finished her training. I was ready to settle down, and she was the one I wanted to marry. She became good friends with a group of girls who also lived on our compound. I wasn't okay with this at first, since I didn't like the way they lived their lives, especially one of them, whom we will call Edna. However, I realized she felt I was trying to control her. I advised her to think for herself when she was with them. Fati finally finished their training, and I proposed marriage a month later. However, every time I brought it up, she had an excuse. The first time, she said she didn't want to rush into marriage because she still had a lot to learn, so I should give her time. I respected her ambition and didn't push it. The following year, when I asked her again, she claimed she needed to be financially stable before considering marriage. At this point, I had opened a small shop for her where she was working. I told myself that maybe she just wanted to make more money first, and I understood the importance of financial security. But it felt like an endless loop of excuses. Finally, a few months ago, I asked her again for the third time. This time, she said she felt she was too young and wanted to experience life a little more before making such a big commitment. At this point, my patience was wearing thin. I loved Fati deeply, but this constant back and forth was putting a strain on our relationship. Then all of a sudden, one day, she said she was ready. I was very excited to get married finally, until I found out why she had been hesitating all this while and why she was ready now. Now, a little background story. Edna, one of Fati's friends, recently got married to an older white man who she claims she met on a dating site. She had a huge wedding, and her wedding was the talk of the town for weeks. The man rented a large house for her to live in before he returned to his country, and from what Fati had told me, he was financially supporting her. Just recently, she started driving a new car too. I had already called Fati's family to let them know we were getting married soon, and that I will be coming with my family to see them, and so they were expecting me. When I told her mom, she was so happy. She couldn't stop laughing on the phone. A week before we left for a town, I was approached by one of the girls from Fati's friend group. She said she heard we were getting married and wanted to congratulate me. I could see on her face that she wanted to say more. She told me she had something important to tell me and that she believed I deserved the truth. That is when she spilled the whole secret. Apparently, Fati had had an interest in dating an older white man like Edna's husband. She said it was her dream to live abroad. Edna had helped her find an older white man on the dating sites, and they had been chatting back and forth for months. Sometimes they even had phone sex. The man finally came to the country last month, and they met up, ending up having sex in his hotel room. They had slept together 3 times. The white man told her he would marry her and take her out of the country, but he left without informing her. Soon, she realized the number had been blocked by him. After a friend told me this, I finally understood why Fati had been postponing our marriage. She was waiting for a white man to marry her. I was so shocked because I didn't know any of this was going on. She always seemed so innocent. In fact, at first, I didn't even believe her friend. I confronted Fati that night, and she denied it at first. I took her phone and saw all the evidence. She cried and cried, saying she was sorry, and that the other girls had influenced her, and that she didn't know what came over her. I was disappointed and hurt. I sent her packing the next day and took her shop and everything I had ever bought for her. I drove her home myself, since that was where I had taken her from. Her mom cried and pleaded with me to forgive her daughter, but I just couldn't. Fati had wasted 4 years of my life, knowing I was not the type of man she wanted to marry. Fati cried and begged, saying she loved me and only me, and that what happened was due to peer pressure. She had even tried to sleep with me the nights before, but I only felt disgusted. I just can't be with her anymore. When she realized my mind was made up, she begged me to at least give her back all her work equipment that I had bought for her. But I refused to. I felt she doesn't deserve anything from me. Did I overreact?